What if I told you the entire fighter jet industry is built on a lie? Canada could acquire 88 Swedish Gripen fighters for less money than just 20 F-35s. That's not a typo. 4 times the aircraft for the exact same budget. Sound impossible? That's precisely what Lockheed Martin wants you to believe. Let's expose the mathematics that defense contractors are desperately hiding from taxpayers. The F-35A Lightning II currently commands approximately $110 million per aircraft in 2024 pricing. That's the flyaway cost, just the bare aircraft itself, nothing else included. 20 F-35s would drain $2.2 billion just to roll them off the production line. But here's the insidious secret. That advertised price is deliberately deceptive. It excludes weapon systems, spare parts packages, ground support equipment, and initial pilot training, all sold separately, like some audacious military aircraft DLC pack. Now examine the Saab Gripen E. Recent export contracts reveal unit costs hovering around $85 million per aircraft, sometimes lower depending on order volume and configuration. 88 Gripens would total approximately $7.5 billion. Wait, that's substantially more than 20 F-35s, correct? Here's where the genuine story unfolds. Here's where it gets interesting. That F-35 flyaway cost is wildly misleading. The actual cost to operate F-35s includes infrastructure, training, maintenance systems, weapons integration, and lifetime support. When the U.S. Government Accountability Office calculated the total F-35 program cost, they found the real price per aircraft, including all support systems, exceeds $160 million. Suddenly, 20 F-35s aren't $2.2 billion, they're $3.2 billion or more. Meanwhile, the Gripen's $85 million price is far more comprehensive. Sweden designs for affordability from day one. When you factor in everything needed to actually operate these jets, the math becomes absolutely shocking. The F-35 is the most demanding fighter jet ever built in terms of infrastructure. You can't just park it on any airfield and start flying. Each F-35 requires specialized climate-controlled hangars because the stealth coating degrades in extreme weather. Canada would need to build or modify hangars at every base, costs running into hundreds of millions of dollars. The F-35's Pratt & Whitney F135 engine requires special maintenance facilities with specific environmental controls, advanced diagnostic equipment, and classified repair procedures. Setting up these facilities at Canadian bases, another $500 million to $1 billion, easily. Pilot training is outrageously expensive. F-35 simulators cost $15 to $20 million each, and you need several. Converting pilots from CF-18S to F-35s requires extensive training programs, months of ground school, and hundreds of simulator hours before they even touch a real aircraft. Compare this to the Gripen. It was designed to operate from highway strips with minimal support. A small crew of 6 conscripts can refuel and rearm a Gripen in under 10 minutes. No special hangars required. No exotic cooling systems. Simulators cost a fraction of F-35 systems. Sweden literally designed the Gripen so that regular mechanics could maintain it without PhD-level training. Here's where F-35 costs spiral completely out of control. Operational expenses. The F-35 costs approximately $36,000 per flight hour. That's not a typo. Every single hour an F-35 flies costs $36,000 in fuel, maintenance, parts, and system updates. The Gripen E costs around $4,700 per flight hour. That's less than 1/7 the cost. Over a typical 30-year service life with each aircraft flying 200 hours annually, one F-35 will cost $216 million just to operate. One Gripen? About $28 million. The F-35's Autonomic Logistics Information System, now called ODIN, is supposed to predict maintenance needs using artificial intelligence. Sounds great, except it's a proprietary Lockheed Martin system that costs millions annually in licensing fees and has been plagued with problems since introduction. Parts availability is abysmal. F-35 fleets regularly sit at 50 to 60% operational readiness because required parts aren't available. Gripen operators report 70 to 80% operational readiness rates. Sweden designed the aircraft with off-the-shelf components wherever possible. When something breaks, you can actually get replacement parts quickly without waiting months for Lockheed's supply chain to deliver proprietary components at premium prices. The F-35 operates on a block upgrade model that's essentially a subscription service for military capability. Every few years, Lockheed Martin releases new software blocks, Block 4, Block 5, and so on, that add capabilities and fix problems. These aren't free updates. Each block upgrade costs billions across the entire F-35 fleet. Canada's 88 F-35s would need continuous upgrades to remain effective. Every block upgrade could cost Canada $500 million to $1 billion. Over 30 years, you're looking at multiple mandatory upgrades totaling several billion dollars just to keep your fighters relevant. The F-35's mission systems are completely proprietary. Want to integrate a new weapon? Lockheed Martin has to do it, at their pace, for their price. Want to modify software for Canadian-specific missions? You'll need Lockheed's permission and their engineers. The Gripen uses open architecture systems. Sweden specifically designed it so operators could integrate their own weapons, modify software, and adapt systems to national requirements without manufacturer permission. Brazil is currently integrating indigenous weapons onto their Gripens, something impossible with F-35s without Lockheed's involvement. This open system means upgrade costs are dramatically lower, and operators maintain genuine sovereignty over their aircraft's capabilities. Now let's talk about what air forces actually get for their money. 20 F-35s sounds substantial, but operational reality tells a different story. With 60% average availability rates, you'd have maybe 12 F-35s actually ready to fly at any given time. For a country Canada's size, the world's second largest nation by territory, that's laughably inadequate. 88 Gripens with 75% availability gives you roughly 66 aircraft ready for operations at any time. That's 5 times more jets in the air. You can maintain standing patrols over the Arctic, quick reaction alerts on both coasts, training squadrons, and still have aircraft available for NATO deployments. The F-35 is undeniably more advanced, superior stealth, better sensors, more sophisticated electronics. But in most real-world scenarios Canada faces, the Gripen is completely adequate. Russian bombers probing Arctic airspace don't require stealth fighters to intercept. Maritime patrol missions don't need advanced electronic warfare suites. There's an old military saying, quantity has a quality all its own. 88 good fighters beats 20 excellent fighters that are constantly grounded for maintenance. You can't patrol 3 coasts and the Arctic with 12 available aircraft, no matter how advanced they are. The F-35 versus Gripen debate isn't really about capability, it's about cost-effectiveness and strategic value. Canada could operate a comprehensive, highly available fighter fleet with Gripens for less than maintaining a boutique F-35 force. The math is brutal and undeniable. Would you rather have 88 good fighters or 20 great ones? Drop your answer in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more defense industry reality checks.